All right, how you doing? It's me, and it's you, whomever you might be. Okay, recently, let's just get right into this. We did these videos, the works of Flavius Josephus, where we showed you, Jesus getting murdered by John, the high priest of the temple, this during the time of Artaxerxes. Now, I'm not quite positive if it's before Babylon or after Babylon. Not quite sure yet, but it's really funny because in the next time frame, Alexander the Greek or Alexander the Great, however you view it, he goes into the temple of Jerusalem, and what's he do? He starts worshiping. Okay, he doesn't overthrow like the temple like the other Greeks do. And this dude goes on who's I'm going to conquer the world, and the one place he doesn't touch is the temple of Jerusalem. Okay, so when we look at the timelines, we do the deportation by Tiglath-Pileser at 734. We see the deportation of Salmanaser, the 5th, and Sargon. And, I think it's bullshit that they add the 5th. There's only one fucking Salmanaser. Who's Shalmaneser the 4th? Who is Shalmaneser the 3rd? See, it's a game. We all can see that Shalmaneser is Genghis Khan from the writings of the 1600s. So this act of the deportation of Israel, this is sincerely during the time of Genghis Khan. Somebody's playing with the timeline. Now I'm going to show you this. Now, I recently did a video showing you these videos. The original Greeks were black. Because I did this video, I got a YouTube copyright infringement. Now, these things don't fucking bother me one way or the other. You can't be viewed in this country or this country. Now, I want to show you how big and important this is. When you go down, it includes audio and visual content. All right, so it's not audio. We're going to block your video. No, it's the words coming out. The Greeks were black. Now, you saw the videos that I used. It's the IUIC fucking people. Now, whether they put a label on their video or whatever, hey, whatever. They want to be the ones that tell the world the Greeks were black. They told the world years ago. Now, technically, it's not them. This shit was done in February 2013. People don't give a fuck what we have to say because we're marginalized. And when we share the information that our other people groups are marginalized, and this is what they do. So I won't be able to use Original Greeks Were Black by Yabin Israel. And I will not be able to use this next one that's coming up. The Ancient Egyptian tells us who they are. And this is one of those artists that want to show you non-blacks. So this video that would push to show you the other two dynasties doesn't seem to be Negro. I can't use that. So all these videos they're gonna hit me on everything that goes with the Greeks. Blah 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 blah. Top of the world and everything's not good. So you got these other videos that argue against the white argument. They go, oh my God, he's got red hair, so he's got to be a white man. So, these men got to show people, the different colors and stuff. They got to even show the hair dyes that they use and shit like that. So, for the most part, I can't use a lot of these videos, especially for this subject. Now, you see right here over this, it says COR Corbis or something like that. That's a copyrighted image too. So I can't use that. So there is a way to beat copyright infringement because Google's a fucking idiot. Now, Google thinks they're the smartest thing, and they're not, you know, and it's good that they're not, because they need to make mistakes so that people can have their fucking day. Now, when we hit the Colchian people, we hit a jackpot. We hit a jackpot. Now, when you go through the Colchian people, and you go through images, you see some shit that's just surprising. Now, again, making this video last time, they shut it down. You have 2 copyright claims. Now, understand this very carefully. This isn't like you've been blocked in Germany, you've been blocked in Britain. This video has been blocked in 248 motherfucking countries. You do understand 170 countries signed let's jumpstart Babel, right? 248 countries have been blocked from seeing this video. Now, I think the video is still up. I think you might be able to watch it here in America still. Yeah, see? Before they were overthrown. You can still see this video in America. Surprisingly. But they done blocked it everywhere else. So, now we're going to do the roller coaster. Since these guys are going to play, we're going to stop all the videos. We're just going to do pictures, because pictures say thousands of words. We just see if we can get 10 million words just in one video. Okay, so we just read what the shit says. Anatolia. Now, Anatolia, you were taught, was fucking Mongols, right? Anatolia, Armenia, Colchis, the Artrat. Let's open that. Today, there are a few pure Anatolians left in modern Turkey. So you see this dude. He's got bronze skin. He is one of the few people that live there to this day, right? Anatolia, ancient man and his first civilizations. So here's Plagiaria, Cappadocia, right? Mitanni, Hattusa. You can see all these biblical tribes right here in one spot. All right, so what we have here is, I don't even have to go to Google Images and scroll down. We have the coins with black faces. All right, so here's the image of Zeus and Hera. Now, guess what the image is? Negroes. Here's a Phocaia, city on the western coast of Anatolia. Now notice the nose. Again, notice how the nose looks like the Aztec. The only picture they want to attribute to Aztecs is the people with the big nose, right? The gonzo nose, right? Notice the big giant nose. These people were in Macedonia. Their coins were in Macedonia, and their asses were in Mexico. Anciently, you see their face on the coin. You can go to any Aztec thing and see those people's face. Here's coins from the island of Lesbos. So they tell you at Lesbos, this is where lesbians come from, and you can actually see this is where black people come from. Another place that black people come from the Isle of Lesbos. So all these images, they don't want you to know. Just don't want you to know. Armenia, here's the Colchis, right? The Colchian is the Colchis, right? These are the Egyptians, or this is one branch of the Egyptians, or what we call the Egyptians, which I'm pretty sure are the people of Sumer, the black-headed people that hold the scepter. All right. Herodotus on the Colchians, passing over these monarchs, therefore I shall speak of the king who reigned next, whose name is Sesochus. Sesostris. He, the priest said, first of all proceeded in a fleet of ships of war from the Arabian Gulf along the shores of Erythraean Sea, subduing the nations as he went until he finally reached the sea which could not be navigated by reason of shoals. Hence he returned to Egypt, where they told me he collected a vast armament. So you just see he went from coast to coast kicking ass. Now I go back to the notes of the Palestinian woman, and the Palestinian says what? You knew no country, you knew no borders, you were kings everywhere. And don't we have a documentation from Herodotus of how King Nigga went around conquering other places? White people don't want you to know this about Herodotus. Excuse me, Herodotus. They don't want you to know Herodotus is right. Hence he returned to Egypt, where they told me he collected a vast armament and made a progress by land across the continent, conquering every people which fell in his way. Now, Egyptians were nice, kind people. They pat people on the back. In the countries where the natives withstood his attack, they fought gallantly with their liberties. He erected pillars on which he inscribed his own name and the country, and how that he had here reduced the inhabitants to subjection. Isn't that what the Europeans are trying to do with colonization? They're trying to pretend that they're the Egyptians, right? He had there reduced the inhabitants to subjection by the might of his arms, where on the contrary they submitted readily without a struggle. He said, I'm here to dominate you motherfuckers! And they said, okay, nigga, chill. Here's the gold, here's the silver, here's the food. Okay, so they forfeited without a struggle. He inscribed on the pillars, in addition to these particulars, an emblem to mark that they were a nation of women that is unwarlike and effeminate. So when he went and coke kicking ass and people that fought back against him, he just erected a pillar with his name on it and their nation. Now, if he went to a place and they didn't fight back, he just put what? He inscribed on the pillars, in addition to the regular particulars, this is my place, this is the name of the city. He also added an emblem, a special mark. And on that special mark, he said, what? That they were a nation of women. They're unwarlike and effeminate. They're effeminate. They don't want to fucking fight. They just want to eat. Eat and sit there in happiness. In a way, he traversed the whole country of Asia. Now, he is nowhere in what we call Africa, which is really Assyria. He's in Asia. What is he doing in Asia? Kicking Mongol ass. Ow! Oh! Kicking Mongol ass. Then he passed into Europe. What did he do in Europe? Kicking Mongol ass. They're out of Africa too. Kicking Mongol ass. And then he what? He made himself master of Scalia. Who are the Scythians? Kicking Mongol ass. Scythians are the Mongols. That's their biblical name. Scathia. Scathing people that they are. Their own brothers and sisters built the Great Wall of China to separate them. Scathing. Little bastards. Funky motherfucker. I'm the biggest bitch. Scathia. He made himself master of Scathia and Thrace. Now, Thrace is just another branch of Mongols. Beyond which countries, I do not think that if they was talking about you, they'd be like, Egypt is just another branch of niggas. So I'm not saying it in a special, cruel way. I'm just saying it because of fuck. Beyond which countries, I do not think that his army intended its march For thus far the pillars which he erected are still visible, but in the remote regions they are no longer found. They've been overgrown by shrubs and shit. Returning to Egypt from Thrace, he came on his way to the banks of the river of Phasis. Here I cannot say with any certainty what took place. Either he of his own accord detached a body of troops from his main army and left them to colonize the country, or else a certain number of his soldiers, wearied with their long wanderings, deserted and established themselves on the bank of that stream. Okay, so now we have a great crusade, right? This is the same thing Alexander did, right? But this is Sosaurus. He makes a great crusade all over the world, starts setting up his penis, and that's what it is, right? Setting up his pillars, his phallic symbols, his penis. My dick touched here, right? And then some of his men break off, whether they by order or by a mutiny, right? So they got two separate, a colony now, and Egypt being their land, or more colonization, right? So there can be no doubt that the Colchians are an Egyptian race. See, I don't need a video for this. I'll just read this shit, and then you won't block my fucking video. Now what are you gonna do? Oh, poor Google can't control me. Better send some robot insects? Better send a drone? Better hope I don't fucking sober up. I'm the biggest bitch. There can be no doubt that the Colchians are an Egyptian race before I heard any mention of the facts from others. I had remarked it myself. This is still Herodotus' writing, right? After the thought had struck me. So this is an ancient historian telling you what we call the Egyptians broke into two. I had found that the Colchians had a more distinct recollection of the Egyptians. So the Egyptians don't remember the Colchians, but the Colchians remember the Egyptians than the Egyptians had of them. Still, the Egyptians said that they believed that the Colchians to be descended from the army of Sosaurus. My own conjectures were found the first on the fact that they are black-skinned. You saw those children, they brown, and they have woolly hair. So, which certainly amounts to but little. Now he's saying Herodotus. That's a very smart statement. They got black skin and curly hair. That don't necessarily they mean Egyptian. But when you throw in their own histories, there's no way to separate the two. Since several other nations are so too. See, several other nations are so. See, calling us all Negro is fucking retarded. Calling us all this or that, or different nations with Afro-Asian characteristics. Other nations, since other nations too, also too, but further and more especially on the circumstance of the Colchians, the Egyptians, and the Ethiopians, which are the Nubians. So if you call the Nubians and Ethiopians two separate fucking things, this guy that lived closer to when they all branched off is telling us right now the Nubians are the Ethiopians. And the Ethiopians, aka the Nubians, are the only nations who have practiced circumcision from the earliest times. What is going on? Now Egyptians practice circumcision? Now Ethiopians, the Nubians? Now it seems all the black major races practice circumcision. And they told us only the Hebrews. Why is that? Are these? Here's a weird question. No, let's not even do that. Let's keep going. The Phoenicians and the Syrians of Palestine themselves confessed that they learnt their custom from the Egyptians. So the Syrians, right? The northern kingdom was sitting next to Syria. But Syria says they didn't learn the circumcision from the northern kingdom. They learned it from Egyptians. Oh, hold on for 1 second. I have to shut my window because some dumb nigga is outside and he thinks I want to hear his goddamn shit. Hold on 1 second. Fuck you! Look at that shitty stereo just pouring into my house from every little hole and crevice that's ever been formed on this old house. Oh, I'm so blessed right now. Where's my bat? I should just do this. Okay. Okay, so they got circumcision from Egyptians. And the Syrians who dwelt from the rivers Thermodon and Pathurnius, as well as their neighbors the Macronians, say that they have recently adopted it from the Colchians. Now, isn't that funny? Let's go back up. Still, the Egyptians said that they believed the Colchians to be descended from the army of Cirrhosis. Okay, so now we don't necessarily know the pharaoh of the Exodus, right? But you do have an army out, and you do have a breakup, a separation of the army. All right. Now, I'm not saying that this is an Exodus, but we should just pay attention that we do have a separation. And we have circumcision being in both places. One group teaching people, the other group also teaching people. So Phoenicians and Syrians learned their customs from Egyptians. Now, we've been told Phoenicians. Now, see, that's another thing. We're told we have Egyptian writing, then we have Canaanite writing, then we have what? Hebrew/Phoenician writing. But the Phoenicians say the Egyptians taught us. The Bible say the Bible say that the land was given to the Israelites at Moab. When you go into history, you go on YouTube, type pyramids found in Grand Canyon. Do they say they Hebrew pyramids or they say they Egyptian pyramids? I'm not trying to bring any confusion. I'm trying to get rid of confusion. See, even when we look in the 1600s, we don't find no Hebrew names. We do have one name that we have found. Michael Thompson was asking about it. Now, he did a video. Copperware, I believe he did a video. He told me he did a video. I have not watched it yet. I hope he did the video, and I hope the video is good. He's explained to me he's separated from that dude, trying to study with him, trying to work with him. So we're going to see how far Mr. Michael Thompson can roll with us. All right. Now, the name that is in the book, America being the latest, greatest discovery of the New World, the name there is B-E-T. Excuse me. I always want to say N because I've been taught that it's Benjamite, but it's not Benjamite. It's Bent, B-E-T. I don't keep wanting to say it. B-E-T-I, Shemite. And then they list the names of the tribes. Benti Shemite. It doesn't say Benjamin. The people that were in translation with them could not pronounce their name. They could not pronounce Bentishemite. Bentishemite. Benshi. 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 Benji. Benji. No, Benti. Benji. Benti. Benji. You see how that is? Blah, blah, blah. I can't pronounce Benti. I must say it Benji. So we call it Benjamin. And it's not. It's Benti Shemite. You know, 400 years these motherfuckers have been pushing these lies on us. They only been here 400 years. They weren't here before that. And they didn't come with the New Testament. They had to take our stuff back and rewrite it into the New Testament. So, look, we were popped out of our moms like yesterday in comparison to all this. So we need to keep studying so we can still understand what's going on before we exist here. If we accept what they tell us, we just live in lies. You can see it on fucking screen yourself. I done showed you where to look. You can bring it up. You can show your family. You can show your friends. Show you anybody you want. Phoenician Assyrians learned their customs from the Egyptians, not the Hebrews. The Syrians who dwelt about the rivers of Thermons and Pethenius, as well as their neighbors, the Macronians, say they have recently adopted from the Colchians, also Egyptian. Now, these are the only nations who use circumcision. Now, why didn't they bring up Hebrew? Why are they acting like the Hebrew don't exist? Hmm? It is plain that they all imitate herein the Egyptians. With respect to the Egyptians, indeed, I cannot decide whether they learnt the practice of the Egyptians or the Egyptians of them. It is undoubtedly of very ancient date in Ethiopia. Now now we have the separation from the Colchians from the Egyptians. Did the Colchians, who are Egyptians, wink wink, teach the Egyptians circumcision, and then both groups teach other people? So if you're not fucking getting it, basically they're saying that the Colchians are fucking Hebrews. If you're not getting it, I'm not gonna go for a fucking no a whole nother half hour fucking pretending Hebrews don't exist. You started in slavery, you look like them. You're ruddy, you got red overtones. I can do this all year. Still for free. I could do all year. I won't eat eventually. And it is plain that they imitate Aaron the Egyptians. With respect to the Ethiopians, indeed, I cannot decide whether they learnt the practice from the Egyptians or the Egyptians from them. Right? So they're talking about the Ethiopians. So the Ethiopians actually practice circumcision. Now, a second ago I said they were talking about the Colchians. They aren't talking about the Colchians, but obviously the Colchians are somebody that was created in Egypt, whether they're Egypt or not. They separated from Egypt, just like the biblical story. Ancient date in Ethiopia, but that others derive the knowledge of it from Egypt is clear to me from the fact that the Phoenicians, when they come to have commerce with the Greeks, cease to follow in the Egyptians' customs, and their children remain uncircumcised. Okay, so when the Phoenicians are in league with the Greeks, they're trimming off the fatty parts, and then when they're with the Greeks, they're leaving the hoods on. I will add further proof of the identity of the Egyptians and the Colchians. These two nations weave their linen in exactly the same way, and this is a way entirely unknown to the rest of the world. Boom. Now, at the time Herodotus is writing that, you can't get around that shit. You set up a weaving machine today. Weaving is such an independent business, not a nation, that so few people know how to weave today. It's done by machine. We no longer have 100 to 1,000 people in particular places set up with weaving machines to weave fabric for us. We have machines set up in buildings to do that. Linen exactly the same way, and it is this a way entirely unknown to the rest of the world. They also, in their whole mode of life and in their language, resemble one another. So again, they're now talking about the Colchian and the Egyptian. When we look at the Hebrews, do the Hebrews have a language that is like the Egyptian? Colchian linen is called by the Greeks Sardinian. All right, so okay, see, fuck. Now I got a big problem. I've been watching End Time News, and End Time News is an hour long. Within an hour long, they started showing refugees. They started showing refugees from Sardinia, and they were packed. They were black people packed in a boat. Now they started showing refugees of all fucking nations talking about Syria, and then all of a sudden, real swift, they just pushed Sardinia in. Now you pause the video, open in another tab, Sardinia, and say map. And it's going to show you an island that's by Italy that's ruled over by the Italians. So it's an island of black people that are under colonization by Italy. Okay? Now, isn't that here in America too? Now it says the Colchians, their linen's called Sardinian. I've seen it. I don't have time to put it up on this video. I'm going to forget for the next video. But understand, Sardinians are black. That's where we get the word sardine, little tiny fish and shit. While that which comes from Egypt is known as Egyptian. So you have Egyptian linen and you have Sardinian linen. That doesn't come from Sardinia, the island. It actually comes from where the Colchians are, which used to be Georgia. That's right, the people of Georgia overthrew them. And what they do with them? Well, they enslaved them. They stole their land and pushed them further into the Asian Minor territory. On top of that, you have right next to where Georgia is the Khazar. And yesterday's 2 days ago in the pictures you saw the Khazarian, the black person that's enslaved in Khazaria. So how did Greek get the Hebrew writing? Well, they overthrew you and took your books. How did Khazar? How did the 13th tribe? How'd they get your writing? Well, you were living there and they overthrew you and took yours. So you can see that these white people, or these, I'm gonna put it to you like this, you can see that these stringy-haired nations, all they want to fucking do is war. Historically, they have war with you and then use you to grow food. Well, why do they need you to grow food? Damn, why is this eye like so far down? And this eye is sharp. That's why I don't like looking at myself when I'm fucking recording, man. Because I'm trying to make eye contact with myself. You are so beautiful. To that book, to inanimate objects. Can't you see the pillar which Sesostris erected in the conquered countries have, for the most part, disappeared. But in the part of Syria called Palestine, I myself saw them standing, and with the writing above mentioned, with the emblem distinctly visible. So in Syria, in Palestine, he put up that pussy emblem where they didn't want to fight back. He says right here, I see the emblem, right? He ain't put an emblem on everything. He put his name and he put the city when he conquered somebody that fought back. When people turn in effeminate men, he just put a little pussy stamp. All right, so it says, with the writing above mentioned, the emblem distinctly visible. So the writing above mentioned takes you back to the writing where he wrote about the emblem. In Ionia also there are two representations of this prince, the king, engraved upon rocks. So when he went to Ionia, he just said, I'm going to just carve. One on the road from Ephesus to Phocaea, and the other between Sardis and Samaria. Now Sardis is not Sardinia. Sardis and Sardinia are two different places. Obviously, Sardis is on land, and Sardinia, when you open up and look for yourself, me putting it up on screen ain't gonna do shit for you. Activate your damn fingers and type some shit up, silly ass. I myself saw them standing above Ionia also, graved upon rocks, one on the road from Ephesus to Phoenicia, and the other between Sardis and Smyrna. Smyrna. In each case, the figure is that of a man 4 cubits and a span high, with a spear in his right hand and a bow in his left. The rest of his costume being likewise half Egyptian, half Ethiopian. Whoa! Why would he have a half Ethiopian quote unquote costume on? So he didn't say his clothes. These people dress in costumes, especially if you're the quote unquote king or prince. You ain't wearing clothes, you're wearing garments in their form in a form of a costume. You know, each time you see these people in videos, they're wearing fucking costumes. You know, uh, you see football players, you call them in uniform. It's not a costume. Police officers are in fucking costumes. They're not even. They're citizens on patrol. That's what cops stands for. They don't even have the legal authority to fucking point guns at you. You allow them to. Your legal authority is the military, not the police. Like you got that shit all fucked up, and they're not gonna correct you. They're gonna come out there like you're just a dumb citizen. Hey, you called? What do you need? So here it says 4 cubits high with a spear in his hand and bow. So okay, you got a lot of interesting thing, especially that even though this dude is uh Egyptian king, he's got Ethiopian clothes. He's got the bow in his hand like he's I'm not saying that the bow is Hebrew only, but he draws himself with the bow and shows that the king is a warrior. He took this kingship by war. Half Egyptian, half Ethiopian clothing. There is an inscription across the breast from shoulder to shoulder in the sacred character of Egypt, which says, "With my shoulders I conquered this land." The conqueror does not tell who he is or whence he comes, though elsewhere Cicero's records these facts. Hence, it has been imagined by some of those who have seen these forms that they are figures of Memnon. Right back to Agamemnon! All right. But such as think so err. So he says he thinks they err so widely from the truth. All right. Yeah, switch to soda. I'm going to be pushing those bubbles right back up. So I heard a lot of people crying about me burping. I don't care. Colchian was an ancient kingdom and region on the coast of Black Sea, centered in present-day western Georgia. Okay, the earliest Georgian formation, which along with the kingdom of Iberia, so who is the Iberians, and we have those people that call themselves the Georgians today, or the Jordanians, right? The Georgian nation. Internationally, Colchis is perhaps best known for its role in the Greco-Roman mythology, most notably as the destination of the Argonauts, as well as the home to Media and the Golden Fleece. So, it's very interesting, right? So, did the Argonauts go and live with the Colchis people, or are the Colchis people the Argonauts? Are the Argonauts the Georgian people, who now have taken over the state completely? So there's prehistory and early references, physical, geographic description. Okay, now this is where they start telling you the truth, and it's gonna get real fucked up. All right, let me go to Google first. Is that Google? All right, we go to races of men. Now, under races of men, you see this black man right here on the bottom? You see how he's listed as a Caucasian? You see that what we call Caucasian today is listed as a European. You see the Mongolian has Negro characteristics. You see the African Negro characteristics. You see the Australian Negro characteristics. You see the American, they put the Mongoloid, and for the white man, they put European or Arctic. Now, how did the European change his title from European to Caucasian? Now, I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to read it, and I want you to understand the original names. Don't think about who's a Caucasian right now modernly. The kingdom of Clois, or Clohis, or Kula. I'm sure that's probably how they say it. Kula. Just like the Mayan called themselves the Quiche, these people call themselves the Kula, which existed from the 13th to the 1st century BC, is regarded as the earliest ethnically Georgian okay, so now they're calling them Georgians. Now when you scroll up here, it just says it's an ancient kingdom that was in Georgia. See, the people of Wikipedia don't know we just sat there and found out that the Colchian people separated from the Egyptians. They don't know that we know that they're fucking black. So we go down here, and here, see the point of knowing prehistory? Now they fucking start lying, and you can see word for word. Is regarded as the early ethnically, that means biologically, right? Ethnically, people, nation, Georgian. No, it's not. It's motherfucking Egyptians. Now here we have the writer of this article lying. Now, you want to go to other encyclopedias? They're going to lie too. Let's see how deep the lie goes. The name of the Colchians was used as the collective term for the Cardavalian tribes. No, the name Colchian was used as a branch of Cicero's army that broke off, or Agamemnon's army that broke off. We already know that because we read an earlier historian. Do I believe the earlier historian who lived at the fucking time? Or do I believe the white sack of shit that's still trying to take my land? I don't know which one. You're going to tell me a black person wrote that. No, I'm just not going to believe you. Now, here we go. Caucasian Iberians, right? The people of Georgia, the Georgianians, right? So the Cardavalians are what? Georgian tribes, right? And what are the people of Georgia? Well, they have straight hair, they have sandy skin. Do they have an afro? No. So does that put them in the category as everybody that came out of Assyria? Kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. Okay. Um, I told you to watch those two videos earlier. The one by IUIC. But these are all under the term original Greeks were black. You can happily go watch original Greeks were black, and when you find the IUIC videos, he's going to read to you from the Bible. He's going to tell you, this is the fucked up part. He's going to tell you those Greeks left the old world. Those black Greeks left the old world thousands of years ago. And what they did was they came here with the Egyptians and the Hebrews. And what they did was they started mingling with them. Now, in the first video, he showed you that the Greeks were Egyptians and they started mingling with the people of Turkey. But the people of Turkey ended up kicking them out. So those black Greeks are recorded as leaving the old world and coming to the islands next to South America. And that was the importance of those videos, because they don't want you to know that. See, we're all supposed to think we're all Hebrew, we're all blah blah blah, right? But it's not that at all. The two black and brown skinned peoples done been intermingled. We over here are intermingled. When they sit there and say your DNA go back to Tobago, that's a fucking island. Your DNA go back to this place. If they say your DNA go back to an island, that's the record of the Greeks coming over here and fucking us. Yes, a lot of us are related to black Greeks. A lot of us have Greek blood in us. But the black Greeks, you still Afro people. I'm telling you, this ham shem Japhet shit, it's not what they done told us it is. And if you don't believe me, match history and the Bible. Period. There's no other way to do it. You got to match the Bible to history. If we think we Hebrew, then our writings in the Bible. If we can match situations to a high percentage, then we're gonna find ourselves in writing. We don't have to believe these fucking people. Just because they put a title on something don't mean shit. All these other black writers done wrote opposite of what they done wrote anyway, because they can see the truth themselves. These people that preach Egypt can't prove that they're wrong. Now, whomever controlled the temple, they lost it. They worshiped many gods. Then we controlled the temple, and it was destroyed because we worshiped many gods. We have to get back to the point where we're unifying our heritage and stop the multiple worship. We have to worship the Creator. We have to worship the one that put us into power. And we don't have to worship him for power. So, they'll keep lying to you about Georgia. How did that come up? Cloches. All right. So, according to the scholar of Caucasian studies, Cyril Tuamanoff, Cloches appear as the first Caucasian state to have achieved the coalescence of the newcomer. Cloches can be justly regarded as not a proto-Georgian, but a Georgian West country. It would seem natural to seek the beginnings of the Georgian social history in Cloches, the earliest Georgian formation. Well, now from the last 48 minutes that we've been recording, you can see that's just a bold lie. Yes, the Cloches forms the starting of the state, but not the people as an ethnicity. And they're not Caucasians. At least not by the modern standards. Again, when we go into history, we can clearly see that they are Caucasians. They're Afro. Their brown skin gives them the name Caucasian. And because we're dealing with people that steal knowledge, steal titles, steal land. So, see, here you have Abkhazaria. And when you look at Abkhazaria, they're not even going to show, are they going to show you the Abkhazarian? Nope. Abkhazaria and Georgia generals in Imperial Russia. So these are the people that ruled over us. Oops, our pictures are doubled. Yeah. So these are the people that ruled over us. They stole our families. They gave us a new name. They act like they're doing something good. They only benefited from us from it. So you're not going to see any black people here, huh? The Ab-Khazarian carries the these are Khazarians. These aren't Ab-Khazarians. They're fucking Khazarians. So leaders of Ab-Khazaria, right? There's no Ab-Khazarian people because they're just management over the black people that they enslaved there. They're not going to show you any black people because that's marginalization. When you go to Mexico, fucking 60 to 70% of the Mexicans are black. They don't show you that. They don't show you in TV, news, print. It has to do with the caste system. All right, so we're done with this one. If you want this, it is Ancient Man and His First Civilizations, and Anatolia 3, Modern Turkey is where you're going to find that. All right, we looked at that. We looked at the bullshit of Georgia. Now, take some time, we'll look at some Colchians. Don't not one goddamn person in Georgia look like this. Don't not one Armenian look like this. But the Colchis people living on Colchis land that was overthrown by the Georgians do. Now you can see with this Egyptian king that this isn't quite a Negro feature. And you can see by the eyes that it's Mongoloid. You can see the gigantic ear. It doesn't matter which branch of Mongoloid. He's going to have straight hair. He's not going to have an afro. Calling these people Caucasians is not right. Now here's a picture of the Ab-Khazarian, right? The Colchis was located in the eastern coast of the Black Sea. Now isn't that where Khazar is? Right next to the Black Sea? Centered on present-day western Georgia. The Colchians were the population. Colchians were the population native to Colchis. All right. Why white people hate black people? That's just going to add more time. So they just say, man of Africa, origin in Assam. All right, I don't know where Assam is. Upper body, full face portrait of the upper body of a Zandi woman. Her hair finely braided. She has a number of dotted scarification designs on her abdomen as well as group of. All right, so we are looking for Colchian people. You see the name right there? So they're just going to show you whatever the hell they want. So here you have some people. The mountain people is a picture from 1860. These warriors held off the Russian army for 47 years. You see they got dynamite on their chest and swords. Here's a guy with the afros. It said Egypt search. You see he got the dynamite sticks in his chest, right? I don't know who he is or what it's about, but I can see the dynamite sticks. If they got dynamite sticks, they're a fucking rebel. Alright, let's see what's in here. Here we have black Ab-Khazarians. Alright, here's an Ab-Khazarian, the book History of Ab-Khazaria compared the place names of Ab-Khazaria with the corresponding names in Ethiopia and claims that some of the geographical names are identical. Baghdadi, Baghdadi, Gunma, Gunma, Tabukar, Dabakar. Okay, so again, whether you like what I'm saying or not, you can see right there that it sure seems like Ethiopia could be not in Africa, but somewhere else, and they the people that control all the bullshit, they renamed it. Oh, is this what the fucking Mandela effect is? Is that why they call it after fucking nigga Mandela? Right? So you can see this is a Negro and he's got what? Turk features. Here's another nigga. You see, he's got the pockets for the. It's either gun shells or dynamite. These are smaller, so I think it's gun shells. When you look at the other one, it seems like it's big like dynamite. All right, so today Abkhazaria's status is disputed. It considers itself to be an independent state, but this is recognized only by a few other countries. Georgian government and most of the world's other states consider Abkhazaria de jure a part of Georgia's territory. In Georgia, official subdivision, it is an autonomous republic whose government sits in exile of Tbilisi. Tbilisi, whatever. So these are the tribesmen. These are the rulers. You see the black dude right there? Is he standing in front, or is this man's arm in front of the black man? Now the black man could be his right-hand man, but that doesn't matter. Look how they wear their wool hats that look like just like a black man's hair. They have to aesthetically use that to survive. They have to mimic our hair to survive in these cold areas. All right, here's this brother. See how these are longer? Either that's a really long bullet or that's a small dynamite. All right, a mulatto Abkhazarian tribesman. Now you can see he's well dressed. He done got his fro, got some shoulder padding and shit. Got him wearing a rug and shit. Can't read that, but those pictures are. Here's mulatto. You can see they got the mulatto, the Negro mom, and she done made it with a Khazarian, and they got the quote unquote mixed kids, right? Mulatto Abkhazarian, who is 74, she's his grandmother, who are now white through repeat admixture. Same thing, the grandmother has the trait, I guess. Has the black gene. Oh, it's gonna repeat itself now. All right, we're getting out of here. They're just repeating pictures, talking back and forth. So here we are. Europeans are not a primary race, but hybrids between Africans and Asians, according to modern DNA research. There you have it. Now, for me to sit there and say that they're Mongols, that's not an insult. Two different Mongol races breed and make a white baby. No, two different Mongol races breed and make a fucking Mongol. So you see black people and white people mate together and they make these looking babies. Hybrids, or what they call non-primary race. All right. So I made a non-primary race child. I don't have a problem with that. All right. So I wanted to look through a few of these. What they're saying about the racial history of Egypt. All right. So when you look at these kids, right, and you look at the closest people on the Wikipedia, gotta find it, buddy. Oh, that's right. Google's fighting me right now. I forgot. So watch this. If I type closest people in Google, they don't give me shit, right? But if I go to Yahoo, see, you're not the only store in town, Google. You're not the only store in town. Now, you see what comes up right off the bat? That image. Now compare those children Where was I? This one? To those children. Let's do it again. Let's pull this over. Come on, slide over. Oh, fuck it. I'll just get rid of that. Now, those children, I mean, there you go. Now, do you see the difference between you and the Egyptian? These children are still Egyptians. Now, if you take this image and you go, I want to open up another YouTube. I got another Yahoo. Oh, they're not going to let me move it. I will go to Google. And we'll type in go. Oh, Google's mad at me. Oh, there you go. Good job, Google. This is a brand new computer. You know, they they just try to infect it with everything. So they want you to buy a bunch of programs to keep them out. You have to feed their children to keep them off your computer. It's a pyramid scheme, right? They pretend to be you. You got a pyramid, you build pyramids, they use the pyramid scheme to make money off you. Here's the children of Solomon Island, right? You can see they got blonde hair, you see they got red hair. You sit there and you would think, wow, how could these Afro people look like this when all these niggas look the same everywhere else? So they took all these children with unique characteristics and moved them the fuck away from you. Far, far off, right? Now, you can see the children of Solomon. Look how blonde that kid's hair is. He's so blonde, he got little fur on his face that's blonde. Where that kid always drooling and shit. Got booger hanging from his nose. They always should. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful children. Beautiful children. Look at these kids. See the beautiful red hair? See the red hair? See the red highlight right there, right here? It's like his little forehead done turned his shit brown. You see how all his shit brown on top? This kid's top of his head ain't that brown. His sides are. But this kid, the top of his, it's like somebody just ran with like an orange paintbrush and just painted a little bit of beauty in all of them, right? Right? And you can still see the red tint to these kids too. You can see it on their skin. You can see it in their hair. Now, what's the difference between these kids and you and the kids on Solomon Island? Oh, the Greeks came over here and fucked us all. Well, that's what happened. So, look at some more stuff. Here's the Black Greek Roman god and goddesses. This is a 3 minutes and 24 seconds. You can look this up and you can see all that shit for yourself. I want to put in videos on this one because I don't want to hear about how, hey, we gonna block you. Let me show you this dude. I got a comment from one of these awesome guys. Let me find this. All right, here we go. We got this guy. This guy calls himself the King Arrives, right? The King Arrives, but he ain't got enough goddamn gold and jewelry to put a little picture up to show what he looks like. Doesn't everybody want to know what the king looks like? Right? Well, let's look at this punk ass king. He says, your spirit is that of a white man, dude. Okay, well, thank you very much. Your spirit is of a backstabbing loser that would sit there and spend their time watching 2-hour video and then write shit afterwards. Loser. Nasty ass manners, burping. Here, I'm drinking soda. Soda makes me burp. You think I'm going to sit here in one spot for 2 hours, not burp, not fart, not scratch my head, not wipe sweat away? Kisseth my asseth. You've been invited into my room and you come into my room and start talking shit to me? Let's see what else. Eating. Yes? Okay, I'm recording. I'll be out in a minute. Nasty ass man and eating like a bloodthirsty leper. Okay, what's a leper eat like? Hmm? This is how stupid you are. I ate a hamburger and it had ketchup, and you saw ketchup leave my hamburger, and you thought blood immediately. You're fucking. What are you even doing here? Did you have a life? Go make some children. Go steal something. Get the fuck out of here. Your half-breed kids will never be Hebrew. Okay. That's really sweet. Because you see my child here recording and broadcasting to you. You see my wife here recording and broadcasting to you. You know what I'm going to do to you, right? Right? I want you to think about that. I want you to have your little visions and fantasies of me on top of you, kicking the living shit out of you. Because that's why you sit here and you hide your face. My face is damn near on every video. I ain't been afraid of one of you since 19 fucking what? I ain't never been afraid of y'all. Y'all mean shit to me. You're not related to me. You just some chump nigga with a chip on your shoulder. I've been there. I've done that. I've faced those people. I've been those people. You ain't gonna stop me. You know what city I live in. I don't see you. Here's my number. I'm in your city. No. You're just childish, alone, and you ain't never gonna have shit. Now, you want to bring up my children and my wife. I mean, because they're in this video, right? Like, you gonna hurt my feelings by saying something about my child that ain't never done nothing to nobody. They are bastards. Can you prove that? I'm married. Are you married? Do you have children and you're unmarried? Do you have unwed children? Do you have we're Babylonian. You can't even prove you're Hebrew. Even with a blood test, you can't prove you're Hebrew. But my phenotypes match the Hebrews in the Bible. See, I'll argue that all day. I'll argue it so much, I'll make motherfucking shirts with my face on it and the phenotypes. And there's nothing anybody can say because I'm actually telling the truth. People fucking lie constantly, and you don't say shit to them. But you want to come here and jump in my shit because you want me to put my foot through your spine. That's cool. All you got to do is come within arm reach. That's the rule. Everybody knows the rule. Come within arm's reach. They are bastards like you. Now you're calling me Gomer. That other stupid motherfucker, I bet this is Khalil again. What did the Khalil motherfucker do? He just looked up in Genesis 10 and started picking names. He called me Lud on film. He called me fucking Canaanite on film. He called me fucking Nebuchadnezzar on film. He's just a bitch, just like you're a bitch, and you're here because I'm the greatest bitch, and you want my spot, and you can't have my spot. You will never take my spot. If I die, my bastard son will take my spot before you do. You are not Hebrew. Prove it. Nor black. You're right. I'm not black. My fucking hair is black and white. My skin matches that. That's not black. That's not black either, but my skin's not that dark. Now that don't mean one thing or another to me, but when you must be dark, right? You're dark or you're white. You're playing the Masonic game because you're coming to me and telling me you're not black. Well, thank you. I know I'm not black. I do not register myself as black. I'm an Afro person, not a black person. This ashtray is black. Is this ashtray your cousin? This one hair. Oh, that's a white hair. Damn, more white ones coming. This little black hair. You see? Let me turn my hand until you see that. You see it? Little black hair. Is that your cousin? No. Black is not even a color, you stupid fuck. It is described. The definition of black is lacking color. I'm colored. I'm a coppered colored person. Piece of shit. Stop teaching. No, no. See, mongrels are from ham or cham. Now you done call me Gomer. You know what you did was you called me a Greek. You don't even know you called me a Greek. See, that's the stupidity of you. You always gonna stick with the Bible. When they prove anything in the Bible to be mistranslated or a correction needs to be, you always gonna stay the same. You always gonna stay like the fucking white man wants you. What did the Palestinians say? You will be in this condition as long as you don't have unity. And what happens? You come here and fight with me. What is fighting? Disunity. So keep fighting. You'll never have unity. You'll always be in this predicament. But that's what you want. You want to be enslaved. You want your fellow blacks to be enslaved. You must have went to college. You must have spent a lot of money on college, and you're like, I earned this education. I want to be able to use it in this society. So you're a white man. You have nasty manners. Oh, your child this and your wife that. You're from the bloodline of Gomer, but you're a Mongol. You're so fucking dumb. You don't even know Gomer's not Mongols. Like, look at this shit people write. You're a hybrid Mongol. My dad's father's Negro. My father, Negro. My mom's father is Negro. His father is Negro. All the male seed in my blood is Afro. You guys come with this shit every time. Every week it's somebody new, or it's an old person pretending to be somebody new. Mongrel dog, go bark in the alley, Fido. Ha ha. You are certainly correct, Leaper. You aren't my brother. You are a savage Gentile like your mama. Ha ha. Okay, you're wonderful. Thank you for insulting my mom, my wife, and my kid. None of those people who broadcast, right? Right. Right. Now look at what you Christ autoplay. What is that? Is that a bunch of listen to Christ stuff? No, we see the root, right? Here's Ask the Hodge twins. Now the Hodge twins are the same complexion as me. Now, how long have you watched the Hodge twins? See, I used to have a girlfriend that worked out, and she used to like to watch the Hodge twins, and they would sit there and tell how they come from a mixed family. Do you write the Hodge twins and tell them they're hybrids? That their children are bastards, that they'll never be black? No. Because you're a nasty fucking Christian. And this is the teachings of your Christianity coming out and attacking your own people. Remember, John slew Jesus because Jesus kept getting in John's shit because Jesus wanted to be the fucking temple high priest. So John got so fucking fed up, he stabbed that motherfucker in the temple. And then some nigga go run and tell the enemy, the high priest stabbed his brother. You should go enslave us now. That's you. Here you are, acting black. Tough nigga, right? Tough Christ nigga warrior. Fight for Jesus. And here you go with the Zeus bolt. Professor Black Truth, right? This is what plays in your fucking head all day. Why are you even on my channel? Don't get it. Don't want to get it. So you can sit there and leave your little comment, and that's all you're going to say under this name. You're going to change your name because I just told you to. And you'll come back like a bitch. You'll call me each different name, each different biblical name, just like you did here. You will use the Mongol term, just like you did here. You will call me a leper, even though I got color, just like you did here. You gonna come with another name, you gonna say the same shit, and I'm gonna easily see that you're the same person. And here you go. You like to use dude when you talk. You're one of those black dudes that like to use the word dude. You're one of those black cowboys. Well, cowboy, I'm here. I'm your Huckleberry. You're just another one, man. All right. We all know the shirts are on eBay. You can go buy the shirts if you want to. The shirts depict our heritage. Now, I talked about Sardinia earlier when I was dealing with it. I looked it up on this computer, and here you have map of Sardinia. When I was watching my video, I looked it up, and it's here. All right, so here you have Rome right here. You can see Rome on the screen. You can see Sardinia. Now, the people of Sardinia have left Sardinia as refugees, or are still leaving Sardinia as refugees. Now we reach 1 minute and 15 seconds. Let me see what we can deal with on this other channel. All right. Now, we dealt with the complete works of Josephus, and I showed you that John stabbed Jesus during the time of Artaxerxes. On this other one, I showed you, I verbally described to you again the acts that took place in 2 Kings chapter 15 and 16, what Ahaz did. I also showed you the acts of Jeroboam, how he made his own Levites, which was a sin against us all, because the people started coming and saying, "I'll be a Levite. I got a heifer." So that hurt us as a people. These are the sins of Israel. Is it not Samaria? No. We've already looked at the Tiglath-Pileser, Shalmaneser, to check the dates. We know his Genghis Khan. When you want to find his name is John or Johann, Jonathan. Now remember, they don't have a J at the time. You can always put Jonathan, all right? And it says Jonathan the high priest, son of Jediah. Okay, Jediah is Judas, Juddus. They call him Jediah here. They can call him whatever the hell they want on Wikipedia. When we go to the book of Josephus, he uses their original Hebrew names. Now, I can't help that. There's a J added because they made it for modern time, even in the book of Josephus. It is what it is. Okay, again, you can type in on Google, race is a man, and you can look around. See, this person says there's 4 races of men. This person says there's 5. Right? See the American Malay? Why do they have the name American Malay there? You see the Mongoloid Ethiopian. You see he does not have a beard. You see he has a mustache. He has the ability to grow a mustache and not the beard. The Mongolian is up top. Excuse me. I see what's going on now. The Mongolian is at top. The Ethiopian down here without a beard. So if you don't have the ability to grow a beard, you are more so from an Ethiopian bloodline. You have the, ooh, I didn't want to click that. I don't want to deal with Getty images, that man. Oh, I should have went backwards, duh. Nope, there we are. It took me a mile out. All right, so the Ethiopian right here, and then you have the Malay, the Malaysian, right? Now, how many of us look like the Malaysian? Now, let's go back over here and click a few more of these. Here they show you the African, the American. You see the Indonesian. You can see he's got Negro features, and you see again the Malaysian. Oh man, I clicked it again. Damn. Is this gonna be big? All right, it's big enough. There we go. You can see they even drew in how the person's hair changes white. Now, this is an excellent time for me to say I'm from Malaysia. I can't prove that. But you can see a person on the screen drawn has the same features that I do. Same fucking hairstyle too, to pull his hair back. You can see he got long hair. You can see that the African or the Ethiopian don't deal with long hair. You see the Egyptian don't deal with long hair, but you do see that the Malaysian do deal with long hair. That's funny, man. I've been wondering about shit myself. Just bringing my own answers to me and shit. Now, here's another one. Now, these are written down at the bottom, which is just unfucking fair, because that's some pretty small writing, right? They're doing it again here. They're not going to write out who these people groups are. Here we have up at the top, it says the Americanishi. This fucking, they already knew that these are the Canaanites. Do you see they stuck the word Kanishi in there? Come on, man, make it bigger. Oh, I hate Pinterest. I don't want to sign up. I want to view. So it says Amerikan, Khan. Ishi. Ische. Now, why do they have Khan's name there? Genghis Khan. Because they're fucking relatives. Aji at Ishi. Alright, so then you have to wonder, what does the Ische mean? Hey, brother, if you're watching this, I know you always do the etymology. Or if anybody wants to put the etymology online, can somebody tell me what the Ische means? So we can do I'm probably going to stop this and do a whole video on just this page alone, dealing with the races of men. When I was dealing with the races of men, we found some stuff changing black to white. Scroll down here. I think it's here. I'm looking for something specific that I wanted you guys to see with your own eyes. Oh, no, I was chasing that picture. All right, we found that picture. Now, there's some pictures that came up, and this, it led me here, and it said unique prints, people's customs, and costumes of Africa. Now, here they had a race of men portrait, and that brought me here. Now, right here, they had something, right, and it said torturing Christian slaves. Now, you can see it says Christian, Christian, right? Now let's watch this. Now let's go to the portrait, and we go to the actual picture. Now watch what's going on. Enslaved Chrétiens. Now please, grab a piece of paper, write down Chretiens. All right, I told you Christians are Cretans, and this is the video that's going to prove it. I can't help it. It's 5 minutes in a video. I can't help it. It's 7, 15 minutes. I don't know, however long this fucking takes. Now you see this bald guy? Looks the same as this bald guy, right? Now you see he's about to strike him in the back. Now you see these two bald guys got this guy tied down, and he's torturing him, right? They're torturing him. What's the difference between the features of this person and the features of this person? Absolutely nothing. This is Cretans learning about Christianity or Cretanism. This is Cretan learning about Cretanism, and then what? They start killing each other, tying each other up and torturing each other. I'm telling you, this is Christianity. When we prove it, I go to Google. That's the high priest. We don't need the high priest. Okay, so let's look at that again. Let's take this one. Can we move this? Yeah, it's moving. Good. All right. Wrong one. I want the other one. Now, let's look at this name. Chret. Now, let's not pretend that we can't use Horace Butler's word pattern with this. Let's drop the H. Chet. What is it? Chetien. So here we are with Cretan. It's an island of southwest Crete. It's Crete, right? So what is a Cretan? Of or relating to Crete and its inhabitants. What does that mean? Now remember, Crete is part of Italy. Rome is part of Italy. This is where Christianity started. Place name, a native inhabitant of Crete. What is this picture of? Enslaves Cretans. Now, This guy is getting burnt. He looks no different from the guy that's torturing. The guy that's getting tortured looks no different from the guy that's torturing. These two torturing looks no different from the one that's being tortured. These are the people of Crete fucking Christianizing each other. You got to understand what's going on. They're torturing each other. What do you believe in? Dude, I grew up down the street from you fucking 20 years. Why are you doing this? Where's Christian, right? Hadrian and the Christians. See, you have been taught it's Christian, but it has to do with a crest, an emblem, right? And it's an emblem. When do you ever place an emblem against someone's body? When you're torturing them. You use a seal and you burn it in. Have you ever seen a seal burnt in? Here, I'm going to show you a seal. Okay, when we use the floor, I ain't going to spell it right. Delete, I don't think it's the floor. Oh, yeah, well, came up close enough. When we see this symbol, see, this is why I fucking hate people that fucking sit there and talk about sports. You sit there and I'm biblical, I believe in God, and then you sit there and you fucking sports, and you got no chance to go into history and find out this is the emblem they used to brand you with. Your daddy's daddy had this branded in his flesh. Your daddy's daddy had this branded in his flesh. Your great-great-grandmama was getting this brand put on her ass, and as her ass was still burning, somebody raped her. And you want to put this on your fucking t-shirt and run around and say, go team. You don't even understand how backwards it is. Cleveland Browns represents the fucking Indians that died for the white man to come and rule over you, and you guys wear fucking Cleveland Brown shirts. New York used to be owned by you. It was sold in the 1900s. Manhattan was sold in the 1900s. Pennsylvania was stolen from you through trickery, a walking stick purchase, which was basically, it wasn't even a purchase. It was a fucking contest, which they tricked the Indians. It don't matter which Indians it was. We buy the Great Lakes. I don't give a fuck if they say it was Mongoloid Indians. We're by the Great Lakes. Our people was here. Pennsylvania touched those Great Lakes. If that was a territory, allowed it to those Indians to be able to use that water to fish, they lost it. They didn't trade it. They didn't sell it. They lost it. When you go to the store and you got $20 in your pocket, whether somebody reach in your pocket and take it, called pickpocketing, and you don't know, or whether you stick your hand in there and it rubs up against your hand and falls out and falls to the ground and you don't see it, either way, you lost it. It is no longer yours. And these people, this is the emblem that they put on your body to say, I own you. Why is this at the top of fences? When you see a fence, why is that at the top of a fence? Well, that sharp point's there so you can't climb over the fence. If you're the slave, you're fenced in. If you're poor, you're fenced out. The fence keeps you out, or the fence keeps you in. You got to see what's going on. They done lied to you, and you don't care. You love these fucking sports. Syncretism is an amalgamation. What is that? That's merging, or an attempted amalgamation. Christianity is a attempted amalgamation of Catholicism. It's of different religions, cultures, or schools of thought. Now again, here's the image. There's the definition of, oh shit. Here's the image. Enslaved Cretans. And what does it mean? It means a stupid people. Wait, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Anything relating to Crete or its inhabitants which are a stupid people. A people who are deformed or say mentally handicapped people. You think I'm playing? Who is going to take laws from the Hebrews? The first law says worship one God, and then in the next fucking sentence say there's a Trinity. Only a fucking stupid person that is mentally challenged. This is why when they go over there to those Ashkenazi Jews pretending to be us, and they say, what do you think of Christians? And they say they think that they are mentally challenged. They gave them a fucking textbook definition. That's all they say. They don't sit there and say blah 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 about Christ. They don't sit there and say blah 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 about Christians. They just say they can't think for themselves. They're a stupid people. Now, everybody done been taught how to think and research, especially if you reached adulthood. You look stuff up. These Christians won't even take the time to look up their own belief system because they already know it's just a rule over you. Why the fuck would they want to go to the books to find out? We're ruling over you with fake laws. Your laws were real. We borrowed those to use them against you. So, anyway, and you have syncretism, merging of different inflectional varieties. What does that mean? What does inflectional means? It means that they don't belong together. I'm going to bring it up on screen for you so you don't think I'm just making shit up. I like to make shit up, make believe. In grammar, inflectional or inflex, cannot budge, is the modification of a word to express different grammatical categories. Well, the word already has a definition. Why would a different definition be added? To trick niggers? Should I leave my eyes big like this for a while till it all sinks in? Till it fucking sinks in. They made a second set of definitions so when you read, you don't understand what's going on. So that when one of them reads, they get the true meaning. And when you read, you don't understand what's going on. When you go to communicate with one of them, they're like, you're just a dumb fucking cretin, when they're really the cretin. A stupid person. They think you're mentally challenged because they gave you a different definition of everything. Do you know that? Or do I just keep saying it in these videos and you just think, well, Alex has some drawbacks. Inflection is the most typical realized by adding and that doesn't give me an inflect, to change the form of a word. How do you change the form of a word? If I'm here and somebody else is in Greenland and we're sitting there saying the word green, I live in cultural hegemony where my white master writes all the books. When I go to somebody in Greenland and say, oh, that's a beautiful color of green, and they look and say, that's pink. Why are you calling that green? It's because I've been taught on purpose to have the wrong definitions so it breaks down communication with me and others. We've been taught to be stupid. This is why I have no quarrel calling people stupid. This is why I have no quarrel saying bitch and saying I'm the biggest bitch. They taught us to be bitches. They put bitch into our vocabulary using our own people. How can I say I don't want to call somebody a bitch when in the back of my mind there's a fucking something or another saying you should say bitch right now because that person's acting like a bitch? Is that a file? Is that a file telling me I should call that person a bitch because they're acting like a bitch? It's programming. Programming. To change the form of a word. Now, why would they change a fucking form of a word? Right? Syncretism. This has to do with religion, buddy. A merging of different inflectional varieties, right? What does that mean? They change the form of a word to make you fucking believe something. To make you believe that another God can be a Messiah for somebody that's never once, the creators never once said, I'm sending my son. Never. And these people worship his son. Motherfucker, he ain't got a son. All angels are the sons of God. You and me, we're called sons of men. So, oops, what else I got? I'm gonna get to the bottom of all this. Get to the bottom of all this. Now we're gonna be doing the hood pretty soon. We're gonna be doing the hood pretty soon. Now these pharaoh hoods, I thought that they revolved around the serpent. And they don't revolve around the serpent. The serpent itself is called A. See the Afro term right there? A, E together. Two vowels together. A, then E. That's the Afro term. You're a us. All right? That's the serpent of knowledge that sits on top. So what we're going to do is we're not going to pay attention to the serpent of knowledge for a little bit. We're not going to worry about that at all. We're going to worry about the actual hood. And we're going to look at the hood and see how these look fucking stupid, especially on them, because of their great lies. But these hoods, these are, when you look at the Sphinx, it gives a dead giveaway. Now, again, I thought they were as hoods to make them look like the cobra about to strike, right? I am the cobra, I'm mad. I thought it had to do with that. So, when we look at the Sphinx, right? So here you have the Sphinx, right? And it's a freaking lion body, right? And there's a man on the lion body. Now, for many years, many of us have been either told or we think that the Sphinx in the lion body has to deal with what we consider hybrid animals. Well, I don't think that has anything to do with it anymore. Why is the man's head on a lion, and why doesn't he have a half lion body and a half human body? This has nothing to do with the idea of they were doing practices or they were doing surgeries. I'm not saying those things didn't exist. There's blue people, there's fucking giant blue people, there's people with dog heads and human bodies, there's people with giant bodies and animal heads. I think they were doing surgeries. But the Sphinx itself, I think it's something else. I think it has to do with this is my image of rulership. Now, when you look at the Sphinx, it's a man's face snapped on a lion's body. Now, the lion is the king of the jungle. When you look at the hood, I believe the hood is to represent the lion's mane. Now you have a man's face and a lion's mane representing the king of those peoples or that land. So what we're going to be doing pretty soon is I think we're going to try to make some hoods and push some hoods out there. We have the t-shirts right now. I think we're going to do the hoods because now look, this would easily make you think the hood had to do with the cobra. But the hoods don't go down like that in the back. You know, they are just as wide as they are in the front. Now, it's funny that this is an alien, but do you see the tassels hanging? I know it's yellow and not blue, but do you understand what's shown there? Because we've been bamboozled, we have been hoodwinked, and we can clearly see Egyptians dealt with circumcision. We can see that God dealt with the Egyptians until God felt crossed by the Egyptians. Now, our peoples, to a great degree, are classified as African Egyptians. Now, yes, I have different phenotypes. You can see my phenotype is more of a Malaysian phenotype. But I'm not in Malaysia. I'm in the same predicament that you are. And there's plenty of people here that look like me. And there's plenty of people here that look like you. Now, to say I'm one and you're not doesn't make sense. Because we don't have enough evidence yet to be able to say this or that. So, what I would suggest, you saw when I found this Colchian name, doors opened up. You saw when I found the Ab-Khazarian name, doors opened up. I would take some of the names that we've learned, that we've seen, and start typing them in and then going to the last pages to see the work that nobody wants to look at. All right, nobody wants to go through 17 pages and then pick the web page that they're gonna go through. Nobody wants to go to a search engine, go down to the bottom, hit 30 pages in, and then start looking. Because this is where the stuff's hidden at. You saw I made a video showing you who these people are, showing you that they practice circumcision, they're related to the Egyptians, and the Egyptians actually practice circumcision too. We're going to go farther in this. We're going to find the truth because it is sitting. The truth, it does not walk. It sits and it waits. Whether it's in a book that sits and waits, whether it's on a scroll, sits and waits, whether it's on a picture, on a wall, a fresco, that sits and waits. We're eventually going to find it. Oh, excuse me. Burp from soda. I guess when I'm filming, I'm not supposed to act human, right? So look, you have the ability to think, so you can think whatever you want. I presented this information. You can take it. You can leave it. Now remember, my mom doesn't broadcast to you. She doesn't even want to go on camera. I have to ask her to go on camera. My wife doesn't go on camera. My wife doesn't broadcast to you. And my little infant baby that doesn't speak, he's never done anything to you either. Karma is going to catch up with you people. If it doesn't, I will. I don't ever say nothing about nobody's wife, their mom, their dad. When you bring shit to me, I say it exactly about you. Now, every time you would try to say something about my family, that's just words. You can't hurt my family. You can't hurt my family because I'm near them and I'm there to protect them. And you can't hurt me with words. I want you to think about something. Tanks keep being brought into cities. More guns, more troops. The UN already has their army. Obama already has his Pope army. It's gonna start soon. You sat there and said, oh, it's not. I'm gonna watch MTV, I'm gonna watch BT, I'm gonna watch porn, I'm gonna watch videos, I'm gonna watch movies. You chose to do all kinds of things. All you had to do is sit your ass down and read a book. Everything is said in these videos is a collection of everything that I've read, especially in the last 5 years. You don't need me. And especially if you don't like me, what are you here for? There are people that want to learn. They outnumber you 1,000 to 1. Even if you group together with everybody that sat there and typed something nasty, Even if you got together with the woman that says, I got people in Colorado, and all of you were as a group, I would stand alone against you, and I would win. I'm going to show you power. I'm going to show you power you've never seen before, because you've asked for it. You've asked for it in such a way that it should be given to you gently. It should be given to you. There's only 2 months till we're in Utah. And eventually, these wicked little shits are going to come around. And there's not many of them. There's not many of them all. There's less than 50 of them. There's less than 20 of them. I truly feel like I can take on 20 idiots. I hope you guys are violent too. Because I sure do like me some violence. Use a lot of these videos, especially for this subject. Now you see right here over this, it says COR Corbis or something like that. That's a copyrighted image too. So I can't use that. So there is a way to beat copyright infringement, because Google's a fucking idiot. Now Google thinks they're the smartest thing, and they're not, and it's good that they're not, because they need to make mistakes so that people can have their fucking day. Now when we hit the Colchian people, we hit a jackpot. We hit a jackpot. Now when you go through the Colchian people and you go through images, you see some shit that's just surprising. Now again, making this video last time, they shut it down. You have 2 copyright claims. Now understand this very carefully. This isn't like you've been blocked in Germany, you've been blocked in Britain. This video has been blocked in 248 motherfucking countries. You do understand 170 countries signed let's jumpstart Babel, right? 248 countries have been blocked from seeing this video. Now, I think the video is still up. I think you might be able to watch it here in America still. Yeah, see? Before they were overthrown. You can still see this video in America. Surprisingly. But they done blocked it everywhere else. So, now we're going to do the roller coaster. Since these guys are going to play, we're going to stop all the videos. We're just going to do pictures, because pictures say thousands of words. We see if we can get 10 million words just in one video. Okay, so we just read what the shit says. Anatolia. Now, Anatolia, you were taught, was fucking Mongols, right? Anatolia, Armenia, Colchis, the Artrac. Let's open that. Today, there are a few pure Anatolians left in modern Turkey. So you see this dude. He's got bronze skin. He is one of the few people that live there to this day, right? Anatolia, ancient man and his first civilizations. So here's Plagiaria, Cappadocia, right? Mitanni, Hattusa. You can see all these biblical tribes right here in one spot. All right, so what we have here is, see, I don't even have to go to Google Images and scroll down. We have the coins with black faces. All right, so here's the image of Zeus and Hera. Now, guess what the image is? Negroes. Here's a Phocaia, city on the west western coast of Anatolia. Now notice the nose again. Notice how the nose looks like the Aztec. The only picture they want to attribute to Aztecs is the people with the big nose, right? The gonzo nose, right? Notice the big giant nose. These people were in Macedonia. Their coins were in Macedonia, and their asses were in Mexico. Anciently. You see their face on the coin. You can go to any Aztec thing and see those people's face. Here's coins from the island of Lesbos. So they tell you at Lesbos, this is where lesbians come from, and you can actually see this is where black people come from. Another place that black people come from the Isle of Lesbos. So all these images. All right, how you doing? It's me, and it's you, whomever you might be. Okay, recently, let's just get right into this. We did these videos, the works of Flavius Josephus, where we showed you Jesus getting murdered by John the high priest of the temple, this during the time of Artaxerxes. Now, I'm not quite positive if it's before Babylon or after Babylon. Not quite sure yet, but it's really funny because in the next time frame, Alexander the Greek, or Alexander the Great, however you view it, he goes into the temple of Jerusalem, and what's he do? He starts worshiping. Okay, he doesn't overthrow like the temple like the other Greeks do. You know, and this dude goes on who's I'm going to conquer the world, and the one place he doesn't touch is the temple of Jerusalem. Okay, so when we look at the timelines, we do the deportation by Tiglath-Pileser at 734. We see the deportation of Salmanaser, the fifth, and Sargon. You know, I think it's bullshit that they add the fifth. There's only one fucking Salmanaser. It's who's Shalmaneser the fourth? Who is Shalmaneser the third? See, it's a game. We all can see that Shalmaneser is Genghis Khan from the writings of the 1600s. So this act of the deportation of Israel, this is sincerely during the time of Genghis Khan. Somebody's playing with the timeline, and I'm going to show you this. Now, I recently did a video showing you these videos. The original Greeks were black. Because I did this video, I got a YouTube copyright infringement. Now, these things don't fucking bother me one way or the other. You know, you can't be viewed in this country or this country. Now, I want to show you how big and important this is. When you go down, it includes audio and visual content. All right, so it's not audio. We're going to block your video. No, it's the words coming out. The Greeks were black. Now, you saw the videos that I used. It's the IUIC fucking people. Now, whether they put a label on their video or whatever, hey, whatever. They want to be the ones that tell the world the Greeks were black. They told the world years ago. Now, you know, technically, you know, it's not them. This shit was done in February 2013. People don't give a fuck what we have to say because we're marginalized. And when we share the information that our other people groups are marginalized, and this is what they do. So I won't be able to use Original Greeks Were Black by Yabin Israel. And I will not be able to use this next one that's coming up. The ancient Egyptian tells us who they are. And this is one of those artists that want to show you non-blacks. So this video that would push to show you the other two dynasties doesn't seem to be Negro. I can't use that. So these all these videos they're gonna hit me on everything that goes with the Greeks. Blah 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 blah. Top of the world and everything's not good. So you got these other videos that argue against the white argument. They go, oh my God, he's got red hair, so he's got to be a white man. So, these men got to show people, the different colors and stuff. They got to even show the hair dyes that they use and shit like that. So, for the most part, I can't use. They don't want you to know. Just don't want you to know. Armenia, here's the Colchis, right? The Colchian is the Colchis, right? These are the Egyptians, or this is one branch of the Egyptians, or what we call the Egyptians, which I'm pretty sure are the people of Sumer, the black-headed people that hold the scepter. All right. Herodotus on the Colchians, passing over these monarchs, therefore I shall speak of the king who reigned next, whose name is Sesostris. He, the priest, said, first of all, proceeded in a fleet of ships of war from the Arabian Gulf along the shores of Erythraean Sea, subduing the nations as he went until he finally reached the sea which could not be navigated by reason of shoals. Hence, he returned to Egypt, where they told me he collected a vast armament. So you just see he went from coast to coast kicking ass. Now I go back to the notes of the Palestinian woman, and the Palestinian says what? You knew no country, you knew no borders, you were kings everywhere. And don't we have a documentation from Herodotus of how King Nigga went around conquering other places? White people don't want you to know this about Herodotus. Excuse me, Herodotus. They don't want you to know Herodotus is right. Hence he returned to Egypt, where they told me he collected a vast armament and made a progress by land across the continent, conquering every people which fell in his way. Now, Egyptians were nice, kind people. They pat people on the back. In the countries where the natives withstood his attack, they fought gallantly with their liberties. He erected pillars on which he inscribed his own name and the country, and how that